Certain crisis here. Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger says we need to get our heads out of the sand before it's too late. And after meeting with the Treasury Secretary only yesterday, let's just say the good congressman is more than a little bit worried. Congressman, good to have you.
Hey, it's great to be back with you again. Thank you.
Do you think we could be another Greece, Congressman?
You know, no, I don't think we're going to be another Greece. They're in a pretty terrible situation, far advanced from where we are. The problem is, if we don't get our act in gear and we lose the dollar as the world's reserve currency and we lose people's faith in our system, then you very well could be in that position. We've got to wake up. We really do have to wake up and say there is a huge, huge debt, a huge deficit. Unemployment's increasing again. I mean, this is a sad thing. We can get out of this, and we have to. We've got to get people back to work, and that's going to be key.
Well, you know, Democrats are going to turn around, Congressman. I think one did, in fact, today. I had talked to Shaka Fatah, who was telling me on Fox News, you do not want to be cutting in this environment because it's going to take a dicey recovery and make it worse. I'm paraphrasing, but in other words, not now. Don't do this now. What do you say?
You know, I've heard that a lot. I mean, and that's basically the same argument they used for spending over $800 billion on a wasteful stimulus that just piled more and more debt on our kids and grandkids. Look, here's the reality. We're spending more in interest on our debt a year than we are on the war in Iraq and Afghanistan combined. And that is only going to grow. This is deadly serious. We've got to get serious about reducing spending, and we've got to get serious about growing the economy. When you say we're serious about reducing spending and you're saying we're going to get our fiscal house in order, then you get job creators to get, you know, excited and comfortable, and they go out and hire people. Right now in this environment.
Hear that out, though, Congressman. I've heard this argument. I don't think it's not a sound one. Certainly you're a pretty smart guy. But
right.
I'm a businessman, right? And I was talking to a baker early on in the show, and he raised pretty much your point. Washington finally looks like it's serious about getting this debt under control. Markets rejoice. The dollar goes up. Inflation, less of a concern. People have more confidence. They buy. Isn't that a series of leaps, though?
Well, a series of leaps. You're going to have to. I don't know what you're saying.
Well, I just think we're betting that your commitment to fiscal resolve, which I fully support, is going to be this great magic elixir when, in fact, tough love could, at least initially, lead to even tougher times.
Well, you know, it could. Look, here's what it comes down to is we do know that we have a very predictable debt crisis here in the future. We know that. And we know that if we don't do something about it, if we don't reduce spending, if we don't get serious about it, I mean, this is real. We're not out here tackling these problems and making up problems just because it's fun to do. This is very real. And if we don't get serious about it, we're going to find ourselves really, people, and whenever this happens, this debt crisis happens, they're going to look back and say, Congressman Kinzinger, why didn't you do something about it when it was so obvious and staring you in the face? So that's why we're out here to do something about it. You've got to grow the economy. Ultimately, it's getting that small business owner to once again believe and go out and hire. We can't solve the world's problems in Washington, D.C., but we can solve the economy by creating an environment for small business to go out and create jobs.
Real quickly, Congressman, it looks like we've had a lot of people interested in running for president on the Republican side, people who had turned it down, in fact said they wouldn't, now rethinking it. So we think there are going to be 12 to 15 Republicans running for president. Would you like to throw your hat to the ring because just to make it, let's say, an even 100 or something?
Well, yeah, we got to get an even number, don't we? Well, you know what? I'm a month too young. I actually turned 35 in February, so I'm a month too young. So sorry,
February
Neil,
of 2013.
Of 13, yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
I just can't pull it off this time. But
all right, well,
appreciate you thinking of me.
Well, we're just keeping track. My God, I have ties older than you, Congressman. Very good to have you on. Have a wonderful weekend, sir.
You too. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.